He's doing good, you know. Tough kid, obviously. You know, after the first round, his eye was bothering him. You could see that he got hit. And at one point, he, like, started covering his eye like this and was kind of, you know, messing with it. And then, you know, Justin just kept busting.
You need time to recover mentally, emotionally, and physically. He's never lost before. This is gonna take some to overcome. One of the things that was Topuria's greatest weapons, greatest strengths, greatest traits, besides his overall ability and technically be sound, and you know, he was a full package. He really was. Talent-wise, technique, everything. But one of the things foremost that leads the way for all those things to mean something is he has supreme confidence. He was a guy who didn't think...
Dana White is breaking his silence on precisely what transpired with Ilia Topuria inside the cage. He's also offering the entire MMA world a first look at what lies ahead for the new champion Justin Gaethje.
Continue, and then, and I actually think he probably won that round too.
Yeah,
that he went into.
Round 4?
His corner, I think, stopped the fight and dropped.
As the discussion shifts to the potential retirement of Justin GY and Michael Chandler, and what the future holds for them, Dana White acknowledges that it's a difficult decision, one that ultimately rests with the fighters themselves about retirement.
What you want to do,
yeah,
you know, it's probably what you should do, but on the flip side, you just beat an undefeated badass, you know, decisively. Finished him, and I don't know, it's just something that he needs to work out with, you know, himself and his own mind and with his family, obviously. That Michael fought is just so good. Jeez. And that's the thing about Chandler. I mean, even going into this thing, Chandler's like, look at the guys that I fought. I mean, I fought all the baddest dudes in the division. And the lightweight division is nasty. The lightweight division is like the old light heavyweight division in the U.S.
MMA guru wasted no time outlining his vision for what comes next, proposing Justin Guy's first defense against Arman Tsarukyan for the undisputed UFC lightweight championship.
Gaethje's next opponent should be Arman Tsarukyan in the lightweight division for the undisputed world championship, of course. It's time to give Arman his title shot. I know he's been out for a long time, and if Ilia had won, you'd also want to run the Arman Tsarukyan match because of the bad blood that they have. But now I think you've got to do Gaethje versus Tsarukyan because he's been inactive, but he's still been building his name value. And the wins that he has in the lightweight division, including the win over Charles Oliveira, I know it was a split decision, and I would have loved to have seen it ran back before we don't get a chance to, because it's Tsarukyan next. I know Oliveira has a win over Gaethje. I know he does, okay? And I know that you can use that to say, well, Oliveira should get a title shot against Justin Gaethje, but I think it's time for something new. I think it's time for a new name to be in that lightweight title picture, because Ilia Topuria was that new name, but for a while it was just Makhachev versus Poirier versus Oliveira, and then Khabib was there and he was taking on Poirier and Gaethje, and I just feel like all of the same names have been in the lightweight title picture for a very long time. It's time to let someone new get a chance, and Arman has a winner.
Following the stunning upset involving Justin Gaethje, discussions inevitably turn to a potential rematch. Teddy Atlas views this as the logical next step, but cautions that Ilia Topuria will require significant physical and mental recovery time before he can compete again. He got broken physically and mentally, and the mental part's going to take probably longer than a flesh to heal and to get right. And I want to say this, there's things that have to happen for an upset like this. And things went right when he made a mistake going to the floor, but still taking on the way from Gaethje. But what also went right was the game plan. Analysis of the fight reveals the doctor was initially prepared to stop the contest after Ilia Topuria reported issues with his vision. However, following an intervention from his corner, the bout was allowed to continue. A decision that has since raised significant questions. He said what the doctor when he heard it. He only had one way to react. I got to stop this. that it seemed like Topuria said he couldn't see. And when you say that, you're saying stop the fight basically, because you know what a competent doctor, responsible doctor is going to do. He's going to look out for you. He's going to stop. So, it looked like that's what was happening. And then all of a sudden, first of all, it was pretty obvious they didn't want the fight stopped. They didn't want it. I mean, they're good. I'm not saying they were risking his life. I'm not saying that. But they didn't want the fight stopped. I don't think any of us did, to be quite frank. But you don't want a guy hurt either. Initially, Ilia Topuria's corner seemed to be pleading with the referee for one more round to continue the fight. But Chaos Sonnen offers a completely different interpretation following a conversation with Devin Cole. He suggests Topuria's brother was actually communicating to the referee that they were finished, indicating the fight was over from their side. Sonnen highlights the calm body language at that moment as the key detail, arguing it reflected a decision to end the fight rather than a protest against the stoppage itself. The referee ever stops a fight, or the doctor ever stops a fight, and to an extent, if there's ever a 108 round, and I'm not quite willing to go that far, but if the referee or the doctor ever stops a fight, that is to let the corner know you have failed at your job. The referee should never be in a position to stop a fight, particularly in between rounds. But even as the action is going, the corner is there. The corner should have stopped it. Corey Sandhagen provided a key technical insight often missed by many. He pointed out how Justin Guy skillfully used knee taps and the subtle threat of a takedown to manipulate Ilia's reactions. By forcing Ilia to respect a dimension he hadn't fully prepared for, Gaia created precisely the kind of openings that ultimately made the difference in the clinch. He was doing really well in this fight as he would shoot to boom kind of like this knee tap position. And I don't want to open myself up and start to punch in front. I just get this guy thinking that I'm going to go low. They have to kind of respect it, or else I'll just start shooting real shots. Boom. And then he's starting to throw uppercuts here, which if there's those little gloves, if they just nick around like the eyes of the bones and stuff, you land enough of those they'll start to really close your eyes, which is exactly what happened. Ilia, I thought, did a pretty good job in the beginning rounds. He made a really weird decision in the second round, going for arm bars and stuff. Building on his technical breakdown, Corey Sandhagen praised Ilia Topuria's proficiency within the pocket. Sandhagen pointed to a subtle but crucial detail: Topuria's precise head carriage during exchanges. This makes it genuinely difficult to land clean shots even under heavy pressure. Taking his analysis further, Sandhagen identified a built-in risk for the shorter fighter in this matchup. He explained that a natural defensive instinct, typically a safe option, could become a dangerous trade-off against the right opponent. If you do get hit, obviously don't hit me, but even if I do get hit when I'm like this, I'm in such a powerful position. Whereas if I'm like this and I get hit, I kind of get spun a little bit more. So Ilia did a great job in that second round of boom, keeping his head weight pointed and just being here like this. Especially being a shorter guy, if you can get underneath someone and start bombing punches, really all that Elias can do from this spot is start to throw uppercuts. But if he starts to throw uppercuts and I'm looping shots over here, that typically doesn't feel like a super safe thing to do. A technical breakdown of how this fight unraveled points to a recurring habit that has troubled Ilia Topuria before. He consistently moved to the very edge of his opponent's range, often leaning back when strikes came his way. From the opening exchange, Topuria walked directly into Justin Gaia's face, and an unconventional jab found its mark early. The simple truth is Topuria may not have respected the threat in front of him as much as he should have, and it cost him dearly as the fight progressed. The one